www.watchus.tbcn.org. That's for the second season. Okay, we're looking like we're about to go through that again. That was just a practice for those who didn't understand what I was doing. That was practice because we're about to go live in the studio. You can say it louder.
Studio live.
I thought he was going to put some energy like, studio live.
The studio is live.
All right, we're gonna work on this announcement. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'll be keeping this be the B-roll. That was my man Robert. We call him Rob. That's the man, right? He's my floor manager and he's making this stuff rock. And I got in the booth, I got my technical director, Mr. What's his name? Rav. Yeah, Rav. I almost forgot his name again for real this time. But there was somebody else. What's his name? Gus? Rob. What's our special guest technical person?
Oh,
Q.
Q.
Q? Q?
Just Q.
We got just Q in here. AV engineer extraordinaire. Boom. For my last show. For the season finale, not the series finale. That's what I couldn't remember. Season finale. Okay, that's the last show, okay, of the season. Because guess what? We got a new season coming up, and I got breaking news for y'all, and you're going to hear it here first. And what you're going to hear right here, let me tell you what you're going to hear. IB Keith B-Roll is heading or going to a new time slot. That's Tuesday. We'll be broadcasting 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Tuesday, remember? And it's going to be on these channels, Spectrum in the Tampa Bay area. Spectrum, channels 638 and 639. Frontier, FiOS channels 30 and 36. Comcast, channel 20. Multi-streaming on multiple platforms, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, on different operating systems, the iOS, Android, and on the internet via www.watchus.tbcn.org. How you doing, director of the company? Hi. Hey, you heard that? I told you, this is big. This is big time. This is big time today, all right? Okay, now, let's talk about it. You know I can't get away with that section. Can't get by the let's talk about it section. And what we're going to talk about, let's be clear. The former president, Donald Trump, was not indicted for fantasy charges or crimes. He was indicted for mishandling secure, top secret documents that he was asked for. You know, I didn't hear or haven't been hearing anything about these charges of lying to the federal agents. They didn't say lying to federal agents because he lied to the federal agents. That's a crime in a whole different level, all right? So I don't want to hear people talking about boo-hoo, weaponized Justice Department. No, and if it's weaponized, guess who weaponized it? Donald Trump. Who else? The Republicans. Who else? The Congress, the MAGAs. They weaponized it under Donald Trump. So I don't want to hear any of that stuff about weaponized Department of Justice. I don't want to hear the DOJ weaponizing. Okay? Let's leave that alone. Come on. Let's get real with this. Now, we'll talk about those documents, right? I'm reading my thing right here because I wrote my notes. He first said he stored these documents in a secure location in his residence. Hold up, what? Secure location in your residence? Anything outside of the government, well, technically it ain't secure. All right? It ain't secure. So he said, and nevertheless, he said he stored it in a secure location, right? Let's think about these secure locations. We found out that he lied about it. He stored them in Mar-a-Lago. That's his home, his residence, right? But we found out he lied about it. He stored them in the unsecured areas of his residence, like the bathroom. Yeah, if you went to the bathroom, you could go and see these secret documents, national security documents. You could just, you could browse through them. There was nothing to stop you from doing it. No cameras in there, eyes on you, right? Because it's the bathroom, right? He stored it in the ballroom, nice fancy dancy ballroom with a big stage where they were. So anybody that walked in there could see him. There was no security up there stopping people. No, don't touch this. You can't touch these documents, right? No, that's not, no. No. That wasn't happening, right? So they were on full display. And he had what? He had hundreds of top secret and classified documents scattered throughout his house. This is crazy. And I vividly remember when he was leaving office that last day and he was walking out with all these boxes, people were saying, what's in those boxes? News media all over the place was saying, what's in those boxes? Those are a lot of boxes for somebody to be walking out with boxes, because normally you don't walk out like that. You see what it is. Right? You see what they're walking out with. They're walking out with paintings, they're walking out with furniture or whatever. And they don't walk out with that many boxes. And people was asking that question, that's what, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Guess what? Now we know what there was in those boxes. It was classified documents, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Not just a few, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. When he was asked for them, he said, well, first, I ain't got them. Then he said, okay, well, I'll give them back. Didn't do any of that. Then he said, no, it's my right to keep them because I declassified them. What? What the heck? What? What did you say? I'm sorry, what? How did you declassify? Well, I said they disclassified. Because technically, I was the president, so I could just think it, and they're disclassified. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. It was never designed to work like that. You can't think, oh, they're declassified, so they're declassified. No, it don't work like that. You know who go for that? Simpletons, fools, morons, dummies go for that. His supporters go for that. Because anybody without common sense, because he got support, yeah, because a lot of supporters with common sense, and they said, whoa, dude. Nah, it don't make no sense. Those were the ones with the common sense, and I know they supported them. And it's breaking their heart. It broke their heart to have to break away from them. It literally broke their heart. And I could understand why it would break their heart. You know, okay, they support the man. Anyway, I deviate. They want to compare it to Vice President Biden. At the time, Vice President Biden, who took home classified information. Also, Vice President Michael Pence had classified documents in their house. But you know what happened? You know what the difference is between them and former President Donald Trump? They said, oh, okay, you're right. Come and get him. You want to bring it back? Oh, come and get him. Powers be, law enforcement came, got him. They took him to the archives, marked him up. Yep. Okay, returned. That's what they did. That's what former Vice President, President Biden did, because they realized he had the documents after he became president. So recently, I think last year, and same thing with Mike Pence, last year. But the big difference is that, you know what? They turned him over. They made no claim for him. They said, oh, you know what? You're right. Here, come and get him. But Hillary Clinton, oh, Hillary who? Hillary who? Hillary Clinton. What does Hillary Clinton have to do with that? Deflection, because, well, again, former President Donald Trump has been indicted for taking classified information, and he's been being subjected to something that hasn't been a law that hasn't been applied in I don't know how many decades. The espionage, you know what that means? Espionage. That's some spy crap, man. That's some top level stuff right there. Okay, that comes right under insurrection, or maybe around insurrection, and it's in the same thing. It's a very, very, very bad thing, right? So let's put that in perspective. So it's not the DOJ that has been weaponized against the former president. No. The DOJ is doing their job. They're doing their job. Right? That's what we're hiding for. All right, let's move on. Oh, my gosh. Don't say it. Don't say it, Keith. I be Keith. Don't you dare say this. But I got to say it, otherwise this wouldn't be I be Keith the B-roll, right? I got to say it. Let's talk about this. I know I'm going to get some flack, some blowback, and some backlash for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, you heard about that guy, right? He's running this culture war. Well, they recently passed a law in the Florida legislature, which which is kind of funny. I'll tell you what's so funny about it later. They passed a law in the Senate. What is it? 1718, Senate Law 1718. He signed it into law a couple weeks ago or something. It was regarding undocumented workers, right? It says now we have the most extreme laws against undocumented workers, right? And what it's about is that they're talking about charging undocumented workers with felonies if they come from other states and they got a license from those other states. They're rendered invalid in Florida. People who are hiring them or got them employing undocumented workers, they're going to be fined, or they can be fined because they don't really have any intention of enforcing it. Now, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute, which is kind of humorous, because I saw this. I literally saw this online. Right? This is what happened. Okay, they passed this law, and now it seems like all the undocumented workers are now leaving. They're packing up and leaving because the law is set to go into effect on July 1st. 2023, right? All these extreme laws. And I've been saying this for forever. When it comes to the conservatives, the Republicans, in general, all right? They say MAGAs. I'm saying in general. They talk all this crap about being anti-illegal immigrants, but look at what they're doing. And the immigrants, where are they at? Getting these jobs at in the most states? Red states. Florida being the main one. Florida, Texas, and California being main states. New Mexico, but Florida is one of the main states, right, for undocumented workers. And this is where I get the flack from. I think the law that they passed is a lot more reasonable than the one that they passed just a few weeks before this. That said, if you have up to 25 people, the 25th person has to go through the federal identification mechanisms, right? E-Verify. But my position is this, and I said this a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to one of my neighbors. My position is this: hold up, you're saying at 25 document, at 25 you have to run it through the federal e-verification, right? Okay. So basically what they're saying is that you can have up to 24 undocumented workers. Think about this. I told you I was going to get some backlash for this, right? You can have up to 24 undocumented workers under this law that they passed with the e-verification. This is to make the governor and the Republicans seem like they are so tough on illegal immigration. Right? It's hurting America. That's what they're saying. This is the argument. And this is what on the platform of our governor, right, Ron DeSantis, to make it sound like he's tough. But then, here's the funny part, right, about the law that just passed. I'm telling you about the one with the federal verification they passed, I want to say a month ago. That's supposed to really kick in effect July 1st, because most of these laws kick in effect on July 1st, right? Here's the thing about this latest one, okay, that they just signed into law. The governor just signed, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Here's the thing about it, okay. The very same people, the supermajority in Tallahassee, once the governor signed it into law, right, that's going to take in effect July 1st, what's going to happen with that law that's going to be so much stringent on undocumented workers, right? The very same people who put that law into motion, who passed it, in the supermajority in the House and the supermajority in the Florida Senate, those very same people then came out and did a press conference that said, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. When they saw everybody leaving, all the illegal immigrants, undocumented workers starting to pack up and leave, they came out and said, no, 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 you shouldn't worry about that law. You shouldn't worry about the law we just passed that said we're going to lock you up as felons. You should not worry about it. Yeah, no, serious. These are what these so-called ultra conservatives, right? These MAGA people, semi-MAGA, whatever they want to call them. This is what they said, literally. That hey, don't worry about the law, because basically the people working, or mostly the people who are working, the farms, you know, the strawberry fields, working in the fields, apples, oranges, the people who are working in there are basically majority undocumented workers. In other words, illegal immigrants. Yeah. Then they want to cry and they say, oh, the construction industry is going to come to a screeching halt. Why? Because they say something like 16 to 26% of the workers in the industry are undocumented workers. The hospitals and what the heck was that? I think you forgot this side, man. Come on this side. You got to balance the light out, man. So come on this side. That was my floor manager who was managing me. He's like super manager. I look around and say, what the heck? It's cool. Rob, what was that about? What was it? You know, no, we good. We good. What the heck was that about? Oh man, okay. We good? Okay, all right. I don't think the rest of the world. Could you repeat that a little louder? How are we?
We're good.
We're Gucci. We're Gucci. We Gucci. Okay. I don't know what the heck that was about. What was that? Could you at least remind me? Where was I at again? I think undocumented workers or something.
They don't have to leave they don't have to be scared of catching a felony.
Okay, I was way past that point. I was way past that. Don't rewind it. Don't rewind it. Don't rewind it. No, I was at the point where, they're talking about like what 16 to 26% of the construction workers are undocumented. So it's like undocumented. The healthcare people working in the hospital are undocumented. The people working in the hotels throughout this state are undocumented, like a big majority, right? So they're talking about labor, like 15 to 25% leaving. And people are jumping up and they go, oh my, crazy, 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 crazy. But here's my position on that. And I know I keep saying I'm going to get some feedback, some blowback on this, right? Some pushback. But here's my position. Because I remember, I want to say 20 years ago, 25 years ago, before they updated the guest worker program, before they updated it, right? Modified it. They were, let me see, not they, well, people was against it. I'll give you a prime example. Rush Limbaugh was against it, right? Before George Bush came into office, right, before they passed the guest worker program, Rush Limbaugh was against it. Y'all remember Rush Limbaugh, the icon, and he was the icon. Got to respect him. I didn't like his positions, his policies, but I respect his hustle. I respect that. So he was saying, hey, you know, these undocumented illegal immigrants, bad people. Until he got busted in Mexico, for drug distribution or taking or in a red light district with look, this is what they reported with children. He wasn't with it, but it was a district that was a very risque district where he got busted. Okay? So how did he get out of that predicament? Well, let's just think about it. When he came back, He was supporting the guest worker program and illegal immigrants. You know what his argument became? Oh, well, you know, they pay taxes. I said, what? What? They pay taxes. Here's my position on that. Even at that time, I didn't have a platform, so I had a minor platform. Here's my position. You know, if Americans get those jobs, Americans are going to pay taxes too. You know that, right? You know that, right? So my position right now is that they're screaming about all of the undocumented workers that are leaving and the guest workers who are here, who's working in the fields, and their kids and their family members are benefiting from them working in the fields, by them here in Florida, by them getting access to training that Americans aren't getting access to. No, I'm serious. This is no hyperbole, like the president likes to say. There's no hyperbole, man. This is the real deal, man. When you go to the unemployment office, the Florida unemployment office, and you have lost your job and you want to get back into the workforce, you know what they basically offer you? They'll offer you some training, yeah. They'll offer you some training that, you know, they get a grant and they offer you. But when it comes to the undocumented workers or the workers that have family members working in the fields, they offer them training like AC technician, plumbing, painter, electrician. They offer all those construction industry jobs. Bricklayer, that's what they offer them. Carpentry, that's what they offer non-Americans. Just because they got one family member that they allege are their family members, because I don't know if they're undocumented. We can't say that they are the family members of those people working in the fields, right? We can't say that. But because they make that claim that, yeah, that's my family member, that's what is offered to them as an undocumented worker. You know, as a guest worker. But Americans are offered Microsoft Office, and there's nothing wrong with Microsoft Office. And they offer them the opportunity to get a grant and go to a trade school or something. But they offer the training and all that stuff. From what I was reading, when I first saw this, I was like, huh? What are you talking about? Because I, at one time, was unemployed. So I went to be reemployed. And I saw this flyer at the Department of Labor, Florida Labor, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool, right? Oh, this is cool. I could train to become an electrician. Or I can become to be a AC technician. But it wasn't available for me. They're like, no, you got to go on that line. What? Microsoft Office. I'm like, what are you talking about? It was crazy. So now here we are. So I'm not jumping at the bit or chomping at the bit to demonize this, because look, I told you, I'm going to get some backlash for this. I know I'm going to get backlash, but here's the reality. It comes with the territory. Don't say it, Keith. Well, somebody got to say it. Don't bring it up, Keith. Well, somebody got to bring it up. Because they don't want you to know. They want to keep deflecting. And I'm going to give you a little tidbit of how we're going to go in the season. Going forward, you're going to hear things like talking about this ridiculous thing where the governor has been mismanaging money, not just mismanaging money, but taking money, doling it out, Floridian money, taxpayer money, to a company that's doing things for other states. We pay this company already $24 million, $12 million last year, $12 million this year, to round up undocumented workers in the state of Florida. But they've been doing it outside of Florida. They did it in Texas, and I think New Mexico just recently took the ones from Texas last year and sent them to Martha Venue, and this year they took the ones in New Mexico, and sent it to California. They have not rounded up one undocumented worker in Florida. So let me ask you something. You pay somebody $10,000 to fix your roof, they go fix somebody else's roof, then you turn around and give them another $10,000 to fix your roof, and they go fix somebody else's roof again. Does that make any sense? No. They're taking your money. And that's what the governor's doing right now. And the Florida government, legislature's doing. And I just wanted to make that point because that's where we're going into the season. This next season is supposed to be hot. I think we ironed out a lot of things, a lot of kinks. Matter of fact, I might be wearing a suit. Yeah, you heard me. A suit. Oh, I'm going to look sharp. But until then, I just want to sit up and say, I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. For how many minutes? 4 minutes? I thought it was 5 seconds when you put your hand. 4 minutes. Okay, I got 4 minutes. Anyway, I could talk more about that. Dak, Disney, looking forward to Disney. Think about it. I want y'all to understand something. Disney, this company called Disney, that we know about, that kept Florida, that keeps Florida afloat, that got a payroll of 75,000 employees, right? Generate over 450,000 jobs. And if you want to look at the average for that, over the last 10 years, they've generated over $131 billion. They brought that into the Florida, they're bringing that into the Florida economy over the last 10 years, $131 billion. Let me ask you something. If you take all the Florida legislators combined, how many jobs do they provide for Florida? How many jobs, once they're gone, they will be providing for Florida? Think about that. Generating 460,000 jobs. Payroll, 75,000 jobs. Huh? I want you to think about that. This governor is going to be gone one way or the other. Either he's going to get the nomination for the presidency. If he wins, oh my freaking gosh, I got a headache thinking about that. If he wins, that's a problem. But if not, if he don't win the nomination or he loses the election, he's still going to be gone in 2 years. But the damage he will have caused will remain for decades. The damage that they're causing in the Florida legislature, this supermajority, is going to be here forever. Passing laws that says, that companies can't speak out freely, robbing people of their freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom to determine whether or not you can get rid of an unwanted pregnancy. Freedom. They're depriving you of your freedoms under the guise that they like to put up these lies that they like to promote. All right? Freedom of education, of educational growth. And like I said, that's what you get here. You get us. You get I.B. Keith. I.B. Keith, the B role, us. That's what we're combating. That's what we're going up against. We don't care. We just don't care about the local media. We don't care about them. The good things that they do, we acknowledge and respect. But those awkward things, where they turn a blind eye to this stuff, we ain't doing that, all right? We ain't doing that. And I hope I get some good guests. It's probably going to be hard, so I'm going to have to scrounge up some guests. Hey, Rob, you going to be my guest next year, this upcoming season? Come on, man. Come on. I don't care about politics. We're going to talk about Spence and Crawford. We good? We're going to talk boxing. To talk boxing. Good. I'm going to have other people talk about politics. Anyway, thank you for this first season. Y'all have a good one. You let me know. I.B. Keith, this be the B-roll. Let me sit back and take a breath because this season is what? How long I got to go? Rap, boom. Rob, could you do me a favor?